Happy Friday, everybody. It's Brian Terrian from the Disability Digest. Welcome to our live session. Um, Luana, Sherry, Effie, if you would help me out, if you let me know if you can hear me okay, and one would be low and 10 would be high. I just want to make sure because I've had some audio issues before we get into things today. One low, 10 high. Score me on the audio. All right. See, there's some questions trickling in. Five, okay, 10, good. All right. I don't know how one is five, one is 10. Happy Ron, maybe turn yours up. Anyway, welcome once again to the Disability Digest live here on Friday. I've got three things to cover with you today, which is helping friends, how you can get paid to refer friends. We've got some prizes to give out for those that already have. Um, Questions about is it worth it? What are your benefits worth? We're going to dig into that a little bit. And then I've had some questions about a phrase I use, which is called set it and forget it. So I'm going to address the set it and forget it mentality today. Um, a lot of people strolling in. So if you're new here, welcome. Glad to have you. In these YouTube live events, we provide information to help you get your benefits, keep your benefits, maximize your benefits, the big picture. Um, and if you like what we do, we encourage you to subscribe and ring the bell so you get our upcoming notices. And if you want to participate in these, they're commonly Friday at 12:15, and you can hit a reminder on your YouTube when you come to it on Friday. It's usually out like Wednesday or Thursday. Also, we invite you to join us as a member at the Disability Digest. If you haven't already, or update us if you haven't. We haven't heard from you in a while. There's no charge for it. And the benefit of doing that is you'll fill out an evaluation of where you're at in the process, trying to get approved, already approved, etc. And we can help you based on our understanding of where you're at. We can give you a customized approach to helping you get or keep your benefits. So we certainly encourage you to do that. There's a lot of variables in the process. There's no two situations alike. All right. So for those of you that are entering your questions, thank you very much. We'll definitely get to those, but a few things I want to cover first. So first of all, we have a refer a friend program that we've had, which has been fantastic. It gives our members the opportunity to refer other members and get paid and earn prizes. So today, in the email inboxes of Christine and Teresa, I'll leave their last names off so they remain anonymous. You will have $100 for referring members here to the Disability Digest. So we do two things for that. We provide individual awards, which Christine and Teresa will receive today if they haven't already. And then we provide a big prize where we take all of those members of the Disability Digest that have referred other members. We put their names in a hat, not really a hat, but we make a list of them, and then we draw out a name out of that list, and the person that is the member that referred a new member, they get a random prize. It could be a Grubhub gift certificate, Amazon gift card, things like that. So it's a way for us to thank you, give back, help you take the edge off, and get a few extra bucks. On the topic of referring friends, uh, we had a recent situation that I was made aware of through our support channel where a friend had helped a friend try to get approved and it didn't work. They didn't give them, the right advice, or I don't know what the situation was, but it really tarnished their friendship. So if you're in a situation where people are asking you for advice, what I'm going to go through today with what the value of benefits are and the different variables about getting benefits and keeping benefits. And your situation may or may not be like them. It's a lot of pressure I feel that people put on themselves to perform if they've managed to get approved on their own or however they got approved, and then they're trying to help somebody else because they're really only using information from their experience and maybe a few friends that they've helped. It's super risky. I mean, when I work with people here, I look at it like I am responsible for getting a paycheck, some dignity out of that paycheck, food on the table, and a roof over somebody's head when we're working with people. I don't take it lightly. And I've been doing this for 16 years, and I've seen and worked with thousands and thousands of people to help them get approved and maximize their benefits. So it's super risky business if you're going to stick your neck out there and do that. That's just something you want to consider. Maybe you're fine with that. I don't know. Maybe some people you don't like and you want to, you know, steer them the wrong direction. I don't know what it is, but the old brother-in-law mentality of applying for disability is something that has tarnished this, unfortunately, this industry and caused a lot of delays where somebody takes the advice from their brother-in-law and then, he went through and he got approved about 6 years ago. I'm using this as an example, and they're going to, use that to relay to their friend. Uh, I don't know. Okay, next question: is it worth it? A lot of people stuck in the process don't know whether to apply. They don't really know. A lot of people don't know what their benefits are worth, really. And if you're approved, yeah, you get your paycheck every month. But for those that haven't applied and been approved, you know, I don't really I don't feel people grasp the magnitude of what they're looking at. And here's my example. This individual right here, this was a question. I'm looking at another screen over here. Asked this very question: is it worth it? And I replied, I don't know. But here's something for you to consider. She was 48 years old, um, hadn't applied, been out of work for a while, 17 months. It's a long time. And let's say the benefits on an annual basis are worth around $20,000, right? Let's give or take, check of $1,500, 16, it's around $20,000 in cash plus your Medicare. And the key thing is, if you have the cash in the Medicare, that prevents you really from having a major medical event that you've got to dish and pay for out of pocket. So it's like the third thing. But anyway, just the cash. If she is 48 years old and she's going to be the next time she could possibly receive any Social Security would be when she's 62. So my wee little math tells me that that's 14 years at $20,000. So that's $280,000. So if it's $280,000 of cash and somebody cannot work, is it worth it? I don't know. That's not, and even including Medicare. What do you do for health insurance? So I don't know. Yeah, that's what you really have to figure out, and that's in part also why people that are younger, 35 to 40 in their 40s, that are trying to get approved for benefits is difficult. Why once they're on their benefits and they're under 50, they're getting reviewed because Social Security, in my opinion, are looking at individuals and saying, hey, you know what? If we're going to be paying this person for a long time, they're going to have to work for it. Okay. Um, Set it and forget it. Last thing, and keep the questions coming. I'm going to take the time to answer those. Starting with the first one about marriage, which is a good one. Hang out for that. Um, I'm not a marriage expert, believe me, but I do have the answer to this question. So to set it and forget it, what I mean by that is I'm going to address it from those going through the approval process and those that are approved. I think it's a kiss of death. It's a problem with benefits because people get going through the process and they'll hire an attorney or a non-attorney representative, and they'll be like, "I got it. I hired somebody, right? I don't have to worry about it anymore." And I think that that's it's proven to be wrong. And the reason why it is that if they don't know, you don't know what's going on or what needs to be done at at each step of the way, if you don't know what to say and how to communicate you're disabled, if you don't know how to fill out the forms, if you don't know what you need for medical evidence, if you don't know how to talk to your doctors, if you don't know how to go to an independent medical exam, if you get denied and you don't know what to say and do at a hearing or what needs to be done at an appeal, how do you know that your attorney's going to do it? So here at the Disability Digest, join us as a member. We have disability approval course, gives you each step. Starting next week, I'm going to break it down and I'm going to release like each step of the way what the highlights are so that you'll understand. So you do, in my opinion, you need to be accountable. If you're looking at $280,000 of disability benefits, whatever I just said in that example, and you're going to trust it to somebody that you just hired, probably didn't even go to their office, that's the set it and forget it mentality that is just wrecking people. Now, when you're on your benefits, the other thing is there's still people wandering around out there that just have Medicare A and B. That's like I'd say 6% of our membership. Oh my God, that is so dangerous. Um, and then there's people that get on, their Medicare solution, and they might get into a Medicare Advantage plan, but they don't look around. They don't check it. And if you're doing it, great. You can do it all on your own. We give you the directions here. I put out videos, shows you go in, you find your plan, you look at other plans, you compare you can do it all here, no charge. We'll do it for you as well as part of your membership. But at no charge. But the key is you do need to do the work and the set it and forget it. Like when we do a benefit review for somebody, they come through, they fill out a form, we look at where they're at and what the possibilities are. The average difference from where they're at now to what they can get for an increase is over $3,000 a year. Seriously, folks. So anyway, to just set it and forget it, you know, and people looking at, they ask questions like, can my check get increased? What's the COLA going to be? And there's all of these very controllable things that you can do to take the edge off of inflation and the cost of all this stuff that's going on. So don't set it and forget it. All right, let's get into some of these questions here. All right. This is from Effie about marriage. If you get married after approval, does the income get counted against you? Can I lose my check? Um, Here's the deal. There's two types of benefits. There's Social Security disability, which is the work that we do. Individuals that are either going through and trying to get approved for Social Security disability, or they're already on their benefits. If people haven't worked enough in the last 10 years before they pursue their disability, they likely don't qualify. And they may be a candidate for SSI, which is welfare, social insurance, has a bunch of different names. To qualify for that, you need to have assets that are like as an individual below $1,500, like no IRAs or anything like that, no cash. You can have a house and a car. So it's really the welfare system is what that is. Now, if you are in that and subject to that, and you are getting a wee little check and some Medicaid, and you get married to somebody who has resources, yeah, it's possible. That's definitely going to have an impact on. You'll likely lose it. Um, your uh, your Medicaid and the check that you receive for SSI. But if you're a Social Security disability recipient, if your check is like over $900 typically, or you know that you've worked 50% or more the last 10 years before you applied, it'll say right on your statement, right on your award letter, Social Security disability benefits. Then there is getting married from losing benefits. There's no asset impact on it. So you can have all of the assets that you care to and go through and get approved. The premise of Social Security disability is you either cannot work any job if you're under 50 typically, or if you're over 50, you're not able to do, in most instances, the type of work that you did before? That's a great question. All right, let's see what else we have here. I'm going through a review after 28 years. Yeah. Um, so, Sherry, the continuing disability reviews are a common topic. And on our YouTube channel, we've recently done a complete CDR guide, like what which goes through what to do if you haven't had it, how to prepare for it, if you have it, how to fill out the forms, all of that. And it's available to our members. We're starting to assign it to our some select members now. On our YouTube channel, there's been three different segments of that have been released. So if you're not a member, just look on the YouTube channel, type in CDR when you search the videos, and I would follow those. You need to take these things seriously. You need to be prepared for them if you don't have one. Um, and the reason why we are restricting the distribution of it is because it comes with access to legal support, and we don't have the capacity to just let it out to everybody. But we'll provide some assistance, general assistance with snippets of it. So I hope that helps. Veterans credit as well. I'm not sure what you mean by veterans credit. I know what veterans when you I know veterans disability, percentage of disability. I don't understand that, what you mean by veterans credit. So if you could just elaborate a little bit more. Happy Ron, good to have you back. um, Question is, do you know people that have worked in the first 2 years and not gotten a CDR? Facebook group I was on, so they've heard. Yeah. Okay. So I know people that work right after they get approved. I've had people that have worked here for me right after they've gotten approved. We've helped them get approved, and then they come here and they work. So um, the thing with the CDR is there's a scheduled review, and it might be 18 months, 3 years, 5 years. I think part of the question where Ron is going with this is, if you're working, is that going to raise the flag so that it'll get escalated? And I don't see any evidence of that. Um, but my position on it is this: even if you get a CDR and you manage it properly and you've been following the steps that we advise you on, you know, doctor's visits, diaries, all the steps that we provide you, and you get a CDR, you shouldn't have a problem. So, and of course, my own commercial. If you're a client, an insurance client of ours, and we're managing your Medicare, like we've gone through the options, enrolled you in a plan, and all of that, we offer and provide for those clients specifically a benefit protection program where our legal team gets involved at no charge to help you with your CDR process. So the combination of the two, doing the right things and then using our support to help you make sure that you do the right things, uh, will keep your benefits. I would encourage people to work. There's no concern that I have about that. Um, okay. Here's another thing I want to bring up about Ron's point. When you get information, some of these Facebook groups, I followed some of them. They're dangerous, man. They are so confusing. If you go in there and you ask a question, it's like calling Social Security. You could get a variety of answers. And I mean, are they right? In my experience, not often. So what I attempt to do is to support information like how much you can make and keep your benefits, how many months of back benefits you can get, what benefits you're into, with documentation that's insurance related for your benefits, documentation from Social Security that shows like what the actual rule is. So you're not like getting a dice roll from somebody. Well, I think it's this. Be careful of that. Can mess you up, man. All right. Mm, okay, I have to switch to share of cost Medi-Cal soon. Or I have to, okay. Okay, Ron's got to switch his insurance. Ron, I'm trying to remember. I don't think you're approved yet. I don't know the answer to your question if there's plans that you can switch to, but I do know this. If you have gaps in your coverage, like uh, if you are in need of medical treatment, dental, or you've got medications that are expensive, we've partnered with companies that have 25 years of experience of helping you get access to doctors networks at 30 to 80% discounts. The same with dental, which m- until you're approved on a Medicare plan, most people don't have dental. So that's a huge one, and medications. So you can check with us and see if those resources may be helpful for you. Um, veterans credit on Social Security. I don't know of any such veterans credit for Social Security. The two things that I just want to make sure I dig into this a little bit more on, um, special veterans. I think maybe I know where you're going. Is that your your credits for Social Security are referred to as work credits, and those are accumulated by earnings. The more you earn, well, actually, that's not true. You need to earn, I think it's $1,560 every 3 months that you earn that or more. You build up a credit, right? So if you work, all 4 quarters of the year and you earn more than that, you're earning 4 credits. That's the credit process. There isn't, that I know of, a transfer of any veterans related activity to that. There could be, but I don't know about it. And I'm pretty new at this, though I've only been doing it for 16 years. Uh, but who knows? Um, and then the other veterans related item is that if you have a VA rating, a Veterans Disability Rating, and it's a 100% on, rating, maybe I don't know if you're referring about this, but I just give it a shout out. Then Social Security has a regulation or some preferential treatment to those where it's a bit deceiving. It doesn't mean that because you have a 100% VA rating that you qualify for disability. Actually, I found it difficult even to get veterans at 100% approved. Any veterans for that matter. Short answer is the medical records at the VA are difficult. Difficult for Social Security to understand that they qualify. So you might be referring to that, and that's not any type of fast track. That just means that if you have a 100% VA rating, they'll look at your case and give it a faster decision. And it actually they do. They've been pretty good about that. Mm, all right. Just looking for the next. Is there phone? Okay. Yeah, we do have phone numbers. They're available to our members. I don't give them out publicly here because I don't know if you're a member. So if you're not a member, be a link underneath this video. You can join us. You'll get emails. You can reply to any of the emails if they don't have a phone number in there, and just request a call or call us. Okay. Um, all right. Miss Lawson, your videos have helped me. Oh, great. Thanks. Work. Okay, good. Thanks for the compliment. It's good to hear those. Not everybody likes me. I got stinger of a comment today. It's called a sham and a fraud, and some people get really frustrated, but do the best we can. Thanks. Um, okay. I Here's a question. When are those of us that are on the email list get the rest of the James Brown interview? And it's difficult for me to determine your specific situation because I'm only looking at your YouTube handle, and even if I had your name and email address, it's probably not going to register because we have 171,000 people here. So I just reply to the emails that you receive as a member and ask the support desk. They can look at your member profile, and let you know when you could expect to receive that. I was approved first of the year and haven't heard anything. Is it normal to wait this long? Hmm. Well, I'd say yeah. If you were approved first of the year, I'm going to go with January. You should be paid. And the only thing that might be an issue is, well, that's one of the things. If an individual is a Social Security disability applicant and they're also a SSI recipient, so they had low income, they qualify for both programs, and perhaps you received some SSI income going through the process. Um, to help you keep you out of poverty, all that stuff. Or work comp could be another thing. Point is, if there's two benefits involved, there's an offset, and that really messes up Social Security because it's not clean. They just don't see it. It's your Social Security amount. They've got to figure out how much they paid you, and then they got to deduct it from your back benefits, all that stuff. That causes delays, like long delays. Um, I don't know if you've been following the news or not, but Social Security, their service is really getting a lot of people giving shout outs to it. Like worst it's been in years. And they're trying hard over there, just super understaffed. And the annoying part, not to get off on a rant, but I'll make it short, is that, you know, in the area I live in, there's pretty much normalcy for COVID, right? DMV's open, other government offices are open, but these guys are still working from home. They don't want to go back into the office. And that's what's causing a lot of these delays. It's just the workflow. I've covered it in other communications. So, yeah, if you want to make a difference, contact your congressman. I put a video out earlier this week about how to do that. They're really effective. If you have actually, this would be a good idea. Who is this? Matt. Matt, look at the video that was published earlier this week that's got a picture of Bernie Sanders on it. I would listen to that, and then I would contact your a local government official, and follow the directions in the video and say, "Hey, this is Matt. I was approved for disability on this date. I have my letter, and this hasn't happened yet. I don't know if you've been paid or not paid, or maybe paid your monthly but not your back benefits." And this goes for back benefits. This works for Medicare issues. This works for veterans issues. All of those. I live in the world of Bernie Sanders, and Bernie's office uh, has been fantastic. And I use them not as a disability recipient like you would, but as somebody that works with Social Security. I've got a whole host of issues, and they've definitely been helpful. So, yeah, do that. And if you find it helpful or not helpful, put a comment underneath that specific video. I'd love to hear your feedback. Oh, one more thing. In that video that's got the picture of Bernie on it, below it, you'll hear some interviews with others that have used it to get their back benefit unlodged and different things. Approvals sped up. Okay. Um, can you try to work while applying at the initial stage? Does it affect your approval? Yes, it does. There's so many variables. I don't know your situation, but I'll speak generally. You're allowed to work. The number is $1,450 or $10. I forget the exact amount. And apply for disability, but demonstrating that you can do some work, um, is contrary to what you're attempting to prove. And it just gives Social Security the opportunity to say, hey, you know what? Um, if you got better treatment or a different job with some accommodations. So I've worked on situations where individuals are in their late 50s, they've had solid careers, they have, income of six, seven, $800 a month, well below the limit. Really, really hard to get approved. So what if you want to do it top shelf, use your time as you're going through, to prepare your next move, like what you're going to do if you want to work, which I strongly suggest you do once you get approved and you're out on the other side. um, use the time wisely to figure out your next move. You can start something, you can do something on your own. You're not going to be showing a big profit, getting a business going. You can do all that stuff. I think that's fine. But if you're going to go, like, work on a specific shift somewhere, like, 3 hours a day at the local store, that's difficult. So most people are really pushed to do this because they don't have a way to survive the wait. So if you're listening to this out there and you're still working, or you know somebody that's working, especially if they're under 50 and they don't have income insurance, the best thing they can do is they can spend 50, $60 a month, and they can, if you're on like $50,000 a year of income, you can spend that amount a month and you can have insurance that'll pay for 60% of your check, so that if you have to stop working, God forbid, you can get some cash flow through the process. This has been the biggest problem that has hit people. If I was to name one of the biggest problems is people don't have proper financial planning to, to go through and prepare and go through. Some have a spouse. That's good, great, but still, you go from two income down to one. It's tough. So disability income insurance is something that we can help you here with, as well as a strategy. If you haven't, been exposed to our information, or maybe you've got somebody in your family that this might apply to, just reach out to our support desk, and we would help you out. It used to be commonly available through work, but they've really been scaling that back lately. Had a stroke caused by a surgery. What are my chances of getting disability? Hard to tell. I mean, it's not the conditions. I mean, if you have a stroke, you're going to recover within a year, going to recover within 4 months. I mean, what was it left with? So it's not, Fred, the condition that you have, it's the limitations. Like, wh- why is it you can't work? Can you not lift? Did you have cognitive impairments? What's the expectations for those to improve? So, for help on that, there's videos that are around here on our YouTube channel. If you join us as a member, we assign you our approval course. We give you an advocate to talk to, about a strategy to go through and find out and confirm that you qualify and how to get approved fast. So those are the two different ways that we can help you on that. But condition question, there's just so many variables. It's age, your work history, how severe that condition was, how you've been treated by a doctor. Are you seeing specialists? Number of medication. I mean, it goes on. Are you able to walk on your own? So a lot goes on there. um, okay. Let's see. I'm still looking here at questions. Oh, Social Security was supposed to call you yesterday, Cheryl, and they didn't. Well, I don't know what to say about that one. I wish everything was really good at Social Security. I'd be glad to do something else for work. Um, but ever since I started, here I still am. I don't know what to say. Call them back, I guess. My lawyer is dragging it out. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, it may be. Maybe they're dragging it out, but the approval and the decision times right now are just long. There's people that we have that have been waiting a year, 12 months for an initial decision. And it's inconsistent in states like, you know, and so the challenge is it may seem like they're drawing it out, but Social Security, they're getting close to 1 million cases backlogged. 1 million. And most of those cases are at the initial application stage, or if it gets denied there, the next stage is reconsideration. So it may be, Fred, that, they're dragging their feet, but could be that they're not. So not sure on that one. Recently applied for SSI. Will they apply for my medical records? Okay, yes. So here's the question from from UK. Recently applied for disability where Social Security requests my medical records. Yes. So when you apply for disability, you submit your list of doctors. Um, and they will request medical records from those doctors. So I'm in hopes that you listed all your doctors and all your conditions. Now, what you could do, should do, is follow that, because if they request medical records from your doctors and your doctors don't send them, which happens, they're going to make a decision based on the evidence that they have. So let's say you have four doctors. One of them is your primary care, and your primary care, who's got the biggest influence in the decision process, doesn't provide the medical records. That's a problem. Keep in touch with your case manager. Say, hey, you have all the medical records. Are they in the file? You have them from this doctor, this doctor, this doctor, right? Um, so that's key. And then you can work with your doctor's office to make sure. That's a good tip. Make sure all of that evidence is in. Mm, okay, let's see. Fred, if you reached out to your congressman and you received no response, that's possible. But every one of the congressional offices has somebody that is assigned to Social Security disability items. And if it's just one call that you made and didn't get a response, I would submit it in writing. And they have websites, they have email addresses, like the video that I did with Bernie. Um, and you submit a request online. um, that's the way to do it, folks. When you do this, I might be making it sound way too easy. They're a free service, right? And they get inundated. They manage it pretty good. But it's important that you're well organized. You know exactly what you want. You have it in writing. It's short, concise. You don't babble when you're on the telephone and tie up their time. So, again, follow the directions, be polite, be persistent, and it has shown to prove off and prove that it works. So that's my suggestion there. Okay. All right. Good. I think I had all the questions here today. Plus, I'm out of time. I have a hat on today because I had a bad hair day. I'm going to go get my hair cut in a little while. So hopefully next week you know, have a different look for you. But listen, in closing, I want to thank you all for coming out. This is a delight. I enjoy engaging with you. It's fun to have the questions. It keeps me on my toes. I hope you find some value. Again, if you enjoy our work, subscribe, ring the bell, look for next Friday's event. And if you're not a member or haven't updated your membership, there'll be a link, or there already is, right below the video here to come on in and get your membership here at the Disability Digest. Wishing everybody a safe, peaceful Friday until the tech excuse me, until the next time. Make it a great day. Thanks.